All right, everybody. Asking for some help here. That's what I'm asking for. I'm asking for your help. Because the thing is, I do the channel for you. Also for myself. I enjoy it, I'll admit. But I've got a few things in the hopper, so we've got some things prepared and all of that kind of thing. But I'm looking for some advice on what to do next. And I wanted to see if you guys would find this helpful. So, someone alerted me yesterday to Michael O'Fallon from Sovereign Nations, who I like in general. He's been, he's been a little unhinged lately, and someone alerted me to this one. This is him quote tweeting the atheist James Lindsay, and he says, James Lindsay says, regarding the front men pushing Christian nationalism, there are two possibilities: either they're in danger or they're on the take. Which, of course, means that they're making money off of it and things like that. And, yeah, I've heard this quite a bit. There was a couple people that said that, they kind of hinted that I was in some kind of inner circle kind of pushing Christian nationalism. Like we have those meetings where it's in a dark room, everyone's smoking a cigar, and we're kind of planning things out for our takeover, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never been involved in that kind of thing and never would be involved in such a thing. It's just not my style. I really despise and loathe that kind of backroom politicking, things like that. It's just not for me. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm just saying it's not for me. I can't do it. It's not for me. I just despise that kind of thing. And so they told me that, oh, then you're in considerable danger. And I said, well, if I'm in so much danger, why don't you tell me exactly what that danger is so that way I can avoid it? Surely you don't want anything bad to happen to me. And every time I ask one of these losers, to do that, they're like, well, no, I can't. I got to keep operational security. I can't reveal my sources. So I guess I'm in some kind of danger, but, these good guys, the good liberals, of course, they don't want to save me from it. It's all nonsense anyway, so who cares? Who cares? That's not the point. Michael O'Fallon retweets the atheist James Lindsay about the Christian nationalists, people that are pushing Christian nationalism. They're either in danger or on the take. And here's what Michael O'Fallon says about Christian nationalists like you and me. He says, their name is Legion, for they are many. Now, this would be surprising, but I got to be honest with you, if you've been involved in any kind of discussions online mostly, but even if you're in person, I used to do some street preaching at Temple University. I did it a couple sessions. Anyway, yeah, this is common. Like liberals. When a Christian wants to do Christian things in government, liberals call them demons. They say it's evil. I mean, they were even doing that to Jesus, so it's okay. I mean, this is nothing new. This is nothing that interesting. Yeah, sure. A liberal is calling me a demon for wanting to do Christian things. What a surprise! What a shock! This is the thing. Like, oh, here's the other one. This is the other one. This was yesterday or the day before. Somebody posted this one, and here's Michael O'Fallon telling Christian nationalists to go do a Jonestown. You know what Jonestown is? That's where that wacko leader of this communist Christian movement, moved a bunch of people to Guyana, and then they all drank Kool-Aid together and committed, communistic suicide or whatever it was. Here's Michael O'Fallon telling Christian nationalists to go kill themselves. Here it is. He says, dear Christian nationalists, your land of plenty exists in the fertile region of Guyana. That's where they went. They went to Guyana. Guyana needs a new founding. The United States is wretched and not deserving of your virtuous movement. Continue your attempt to conduct a reflexive revolution in the paradise of Guyana. And he posts a few pictures of Guyana, which look very beautiful. Yeah, so here's Michael O'Fallon a couple days before he said that we're Legion, telling us to go off ourselves. We drink our Kool-Aid over there. I got to say, it could be shocking to some people, but again, this is not the first time a liberal has told me to go kill myself. I mean, this happens all the time on the internet. This is very common. Liberals often, when Christians try to get involved in political movements and things like that, they'll go tell them to go off themselves. It's as simple as that. So this is nothing new, but you guys might find it interesting for me to respond to it. Now, here's what somebody posted in one of my private message groups, and maybe I am in those secret rooms. Yeah, we're all smoking cigars in our private Signal groups. That's right. Somebody shared this. This is a panel discussion. What happened to the Christian anti-woke movement? And it's a panel discussion with Andy Woodward, Michael O'Fallon, Bill Roach, and James Lindsay. And they're all discussing what happened. We all had this anti-woke movement, and now look at this. Everyone's, turning into a Christian nationalist, and they're making fun of us. Can you believe it? They're making fun of us. So they have a whole discussion here. I don't know how long this is, but it's a whole discussion about what happened to the Christian anti-woke movement. Now, here's my question. This is where I need help. Would you find it interesting for me to do a video response to this thing? I'm not going to watch it first. I'll just do it kind of live because I like that style the best. And honestly, I have a suspicion this is going to be very boring and hard to follow. But, AD, I can make even the most boring things interesting. So I wondered if you would find this helpful, let me know in the comments of this video, and I'll consider doing it. It depends on the comments here. I like a lot of these guys. If I had to rank these guys in order of how much I like them, I think it would go exactly in this order. I like Andy Woodward. It's Woodard. Yeah, I like Andy. He's a good guy, and for the most part. And then I like Michael Fallon, probably second. He's second on the power rankings, I would say, even though he's now calling us demons and telling us to go drink some cyanide Kool-Aid. I still like him. He's still cool. And then Bill, Bill I know the least out of the three Christians here. I know him a little bit, but, even what I do know would definitely put him third in the rankings. And then, of course, there's atheist James Lindsay, who cares, right? Who cares? You know what I mean? He's number 4. So I like these guys for the most part, and I think it would be okay to listen to, but probably a little boring and hard to follow. Because here's the kind of stuff that Michael O'Fallon tweets that he thinks is so helpful. He says, the attempts to introduce ninja authoritarianism through Christian nationalism is a betrayal of the American people. Those responsible share a commonality with Antifa members who have the same intent to disrupt and dismantle the United States of America. Yes, that's right. Christian nationalists are the same as Antifa members, and we're trying to introduce ninja authoritarianism. And see, this is my hesitation to doing this video, right? Because there's going to be all kinds of terms such as ninja authoritarianism that I don't have a freaking clue what it means, and I don't have the decoder ring, and I have no clue what he's talking about, so it'll be kind of tedious to get through, I think. But, again, I do this mostly for you guys, and so if you would find this helpful, watching 4 liberals, do the liberal thing, because that's what they're going to do. Because, Michael O'Fallon here, he's doing the liberal thing, telling me to go drink some cyanide Kool-Aid. And here's him saying I'm a demon. I mean, this is not uncommon. This is what liberals do on the internet. This is what they do whenever they see Christians and conservatives doing things overtly Christian. You know what I mean? When they want to have a Christian moral conscience for the country. They want to have a Christian government doing Christian things and Christian laws and all of that kind of stuff. The way they used to do in the old days. This is what you get from liberals. They say this kind of thing. This is pretty common, these kinds of things, right? So, I'm definitely down to do it if you think so. I think it'll be a little tedious, and so you guys have to let me know. Do you think this would be helpful? Do you think it's helpful to try to wade through all of these weird terms and the reflexivity, integralist, ninja authoritarian, all that kind of stuff, all these words that, who cares? It might be fun. It might be fun. Let me know if you want me to do it. I think it'll be fun. And yeah. What happened to the Christian anti-woke movement? I can answer that very quickly. I mean, the reality is we weren't all in it for the same reasons. You know what I mean? We weren't all in it for the same reasons. I was in the Christian anti-woke movement, primarily because I could see the threat of the wokeness being against God's law, and I was concerned with God's law, and I could see that the woke movement was anti-Christian at the core, and it was going to make our country and our laws and our traditions and all. They're trying to subvert the Christian foundations there, and they're trying to make it something new, a new religion, all that kind of thing. That's why I was in the anti-woke movement. I was not in it so that we could go back to the golden years of the 70s and the 80s, because here's the reality. If the 70s and 80s got us to the 90s and the 2000s and the 2010s and the 2020s, of what use was the 70s and 80s? We're here now. We don't want to go back to there. We're just going to get back here. I didn't want that, but, hey, this is the truth of the situation here. I mean, pretty easy to know what happened to the Christian anti-woke movement. It doesn't require psyops. It doesn't require weird terms like ninja authoritarianism. It doesn't require any of that nonsense. It's very simple. But if you would find this helpful, you let me know. 4 liberals talking about the evils of Christian government, and I'll respond to it. What do you think? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you found this video helpful. I'm looking for help. Help me out. God bless.